Hey guys, welcome back. This is Kirill, your Justice analyst, and we are continuing with the Eurovision 2025 today. Finally, it's time for Estonia. I'm super excited about this country because there is a lot of hype around this entry this year. I haven't really heard the song at all. I was saving my first reaction for you. I was also still concerned maybe they will change the song or something like that, because the performance was at some point of time deleted from the channel of Estonian broadcaster. They basically even deleted the whole channel, which was dedicated to their selection Eesti Laul. And talking about Eesti Laul, of course, this competition is always full of some amazing songs. Now, before filming this reaction, I have checked all the finalists and also all the entries which were in the sort of wild card round before that. I think the second place entry is actually a very cool one. It reminded me somehow a bit of Hatari. It was just without this kind of bondage and latex thematic to it, just kind of more normal performance. I think the song was really, really cool. And my personal favorite was probably Elisa, who is trying her luck almost each and every year, I think, in the Estonian selection, collaborating with all the possible international composers. And this year she has collaborated with Simon Peyron, whom maybe you remember from Swedish Melody Festival, and who was performing as part of the band Outrigger, and then also having a duo with Ellen Benedictson. So this year he wrote the song for Elisa, such a stunning ballad. The song has really reminded me a lot of Hurricane by Edin Golan from last year's Eurovision edition. It just builds up in the same way, the same kind of instrumental. So stunning song, because Israel was also one of my personal favorites last year. But now let's just talk about the winner, and it's Tommy Cash. His real name is Tomas Tamamets. He's 33 years old. He definitely became the most well-known artist in Estonia and abroad. He already became quite well-known in the Eurovision world even before entering this Estonian selection, because he already had a lot of collaborations with Little Big, who were supposed to represent Russia in Eurovision 2020, then also with Käärija from Finland, who represented Finland in the Eurovision 2023. Give me your money. I got a feeling we're gonna make a baby. Crazy. And a few days ago, he has even released a collaboration with Joost, who was representing the Netherlands last year and who was disqualified in the Eurovision final. Want to fly to Kiev and go to Moscow? So you could think based on that, oh, Tommy Cash is such a huge Eurovision fan. Well, in 2016, in an interview to some local channel or something like that, he has definitely said something else.
Планируешь ехать на Евровидение от Эстонии?
Да не, пипец. Меня вообще предлагали там, давай, иди, но это вообще такая жесть, Евровидение. Мои родители смотрят каждый год, но это такое говно, реально, ну как бы, такой стёб, вообще это ужас.
Well, I hope he just grew up, became wiser, and understood how wrong he was. But now let's talk about his Eurovision entry called Espresso Macchiato. And interesting fact, this entry has been written and produced by Tommy Cash jointly with Johannes Naukkarinen, whose name maybe you remember because he was the person standing behind the entry Cha 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 by Käärija. I'm kind of feeling how the bar of expectations is just raising higher and higher for me towards this entry. So now I'm definitely expecting something not less impressive and not less cool as Cha Cha Cha. But now let's take a look at the lyrics. So the lyrics are partially in English, partially in Italian. And I have heard that it's supposed to be a sort of a joke text about the Italians living in the US or in the New York City in particular. So he's telling us about the stereotypical Italian guy called Tommaso, who's addicted to tobacco, likes his coffee because it's very important. His days are always very busy and he owns a little restaurant. He likes to fly private jets with 24-karat rings. His house is very awesome. His money is numerous. I definitely like this phrase, life is like spaghetti, it's hard until you make it. No stress, please. So yeah, very funny text. I already expect a very entertaining performance. I really love these references. It's just kind of funny to talk about this stereotypical stereotypical person living in the US. I have heard some Italians were a little bit offended by that, but then the singer quickly has explained it has nothing to do with those Italians who live in Italy. It has to do something with this particular community of Italians living in the New York City. For my first listen, I will go to the MP3 track. Let's see how much these jokes come through just in the song itself. And afterwards, I'm super curious to take a look at his live performance at Eesti Laul 2025. So it seems to be a sort of official visualizer, so let's go Espresso Macchiato. This melody in the background sounds like something Italian. Oh, I didn't really expect him to start moving. I really love this beginning. This is a very cleverly composed song, I can already say that. I'm sure that the public will really love this. And you know, the song offers you so many staging possibilities. I'm super curious to see what exactly they did. So easy to sing along. It's my first time listening. I can already sing along the full song, I think. It only might come a little bit strange for the audience that this type of song comes from Estonia, from all the countries. I'm already addicted. It's really, really catchy tune.
Espresso Macchiato.
Yeah, it's a very cleverly composed song, really nice one. You know, I already had very high expectations from the beginning based on who the composers are, who Tommy Cash is, and I have to say the song really met those expectations. It's definitely very catchy tune, very viral tune. I can definitely understand why it's already entering some viral charts in some countries, especially even in Italy. Is it something I personally would listen on repeat? Probably not, but it's just perfectly fine for Eurovision, and I'm pretty sure that Estonia will do really well with this entry. It actually reminded me strangely of one quite old song, this Panamericano. I'm kinda 100% sure that this was the inspiration behind this entry. But now let's take a look at the live performance and see how well Tommy Cash can perform it live. So the same kind of cup of coffee, and I think this beginning is just so beautiful. It's already captivating. You're already getting very interested. So as I have said, very cleverly composed song. I think people who are behind this really knew what they're doing. My god, how he can move like this, it's kind of cool. And you know, he keeps this almost poker face while doing these moves. Right from the beginning, it kind of screams, okay, Estonia can definitely be in top 3 of the televoting in the Eurovision final this year. And I have to say, his vocal was actually very stable for the amount of movement he was doing. If I would do this kind of movements, I would not even be able to talk properly. His dancers are absolutely amazing. One which looks like this kind of grumpy Russian bloc, and another one who looks like this typical Afro-American cool security guy. So fits perfectly to this kind of stereotypical American theme. These background visuals are also so ridiculous, it's just so funny. Let's say the live performance can be still elevated. I think with this song, they have so much potential to do a lot of cool things. They have definitely some very, very clever ideas there, but just the whole performance concept can be so much bigger. I can definitely see the whole Eastern Europe going for this. This definitely has this kind of vibe which we people coming from Eastern Europe usually like. If the Western Europe will also respond in the same way to this entry, I really can't say yet.
Espresso Macchiato. Espresso Macchiato.
What a performance it was. What a brilliant and entertaining entry from Estonia this year. Well, Tommy Cash, you can definitely see, is such a professional. He definitely knows what he's doing, and I was so impressed that even with the amount of the movements he was doing, he was still able to really sing it and not being out of breath. There was just one moment, I think somewhere towards this part about life is hard like spaghetti until you make it or something like that. there he was kind of out of breath, but apart from that was really excellent, and I can definitely see the public standing behind this one. But now let's take a look at how Estonia already did in the Eurovision semifinals in the previous years in accordance with the televoting. And as you can see, in the last 5 years, Estonia is ranked 9th in total out of all 31 countries taking part in the Eurovision semifinals this year. So there was just one occasion when they were not qualifying, but apart from that, their results were excellent. And even last year with the entry, which was much less hyped than this year and which was also sort of funny, by Pulup and Fiv Minus, the name of the song I will never be able to pronounce once again, I think, they still finished on the 6th place, so I just can't see Tommy Cash not being in the top 3 of his semifinal this year. And which semifinal will it be? Let's find out. So as you can see on your screen, Estonia will perform in the first half of the first semifinal with the countries like Sweden, Ukraine, Poland, and some others. So far, the other funny entries, like for example Ich komme by Erika Wickman from Finland, and also Kant by Mirjana Conte from Malta, they will be performed in the second semifinal, which definitely gives even additional advantage to Tommy Cash in the first semifinal. So far, I'm just getting more and more assured that Estonia can even win their semifinal this year, and actually in general for the first time for Estonia in the Eurovision semifinals history. But how did Eurovision fans in general respond to this entry? So as you can see in the Eurovision Scoreboard app, Estonia is currently ranked 12th, so behind Spain, Latvia, Lithuania and Luxembourg, but above Armenia, Ireland, Ukraine and Italy. Well, I think this position will definitely change once the rehearsals will start, and in any case the public will love it. And now let's see what the bookmakers predict for Estonia this year. So as you can see on your screen, Estonia is currently ranked 4th by the bookmakers, so being behind Finland, France and Sweden only, and above Austria, Israel, Czechia and many other countries. Well, this place in place 4 I think might be really realistic if Estonia will bring some grand, mesmerizing performance for the Eurovision stage. With this performance, which we saw just now, I don't think that this place is realistic, but I think everyone is pretty sure that Tommy Cash will bring something special. Talking about the stage and concepts, I think it would be really nice if they would just kinda invite us to some sort of traditional Italian restaurant with this lemon decorations, with a lot of cups of espresso and so on, making it even more relatable for people, just kind of telling a bit more of a story through their performance. But I think their visuals, their costumes and the dancers were already great, this they can definitely keep. Just maybe let him walk through different rooms, like, you know, Italian restaurant in one room, then he goes and he is now in this, sitting in this luxury private jet or luxury private villa. The next scene, he is in casino with other mafiosis or something like that, you know, just some stereotypical things which we see in the movies about mafia and so on. I think this could be very effective. So that's what I have thought about Estonian entry this year. It's definitely more on a funny side rather than on the serious side, so I would definitely compare it to Malta and Finland. And if you ask me, I think Estonia is probably something what general public would get as a joke more than the Maltese and the Finnish one. However, I can perfectly understand why some of you maybe like the Finnish or Maltese entry more, me included. So please let me know down below in the comments, what have you thought about this entry? What do you think how well Tommy Cash can do in Eurovision? Please subscribe to my channel, even if you maybe don't agree with my opinions about this entry, and definitely stay tuned for the next one. Bye bye.